You getting shy, Luis?
No. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Punch Drunk Nerd, the podcast where three friends, three amigos, three bambinos come together to talk about nerd shit. And look at us. We're all here together.
That's us.
Hey!
Hey! No longer distances apart. We're having ourselves a little sleepover. We're talking nerd shit.
As always.
Listen, 2023 is wrapped up, and now we're going to talk about 2023. Yes, we have a top 10, but we're not going to talk about our top 10 till in a couple more weeks. We have a lot more movies to see, but until then, we are going to talk about the biggest moments of 2023. What do you guys think about that?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
It's nice having you around here. Like, I don't have to wait for your delay. It's like, am I being rude? No, you're right here.
We're on location at Ed's house.
My house here in Houston. We've been drinking all day.
Oh, too much.
We have. Is it too much or just enough? It's been a great boys' day.
We watched Godzilla -1 today.
Godzilla -1. We've
Yes.
had so much beer.
Sorry.
A little bit of whiskey.
Tune in a couple weeks if Godzilla -1 will be in our top 10. But let's jump into 2023 recaps. Guys, let's talk performances. What was like some big performances of 2023 where you're like, damn, that was pretty good?
That was it.
That was it.
One of mine I just saw recently was actually Maestro.
Yes.
I saw Maestro recently, and
We're talking Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper and
Carey Mulligan.
Carey Mulligan, who was also in
Really
Saltburn
good.
this year.
She was indeed. We'll have to talk about that too.
We'll talk about that too. But yeah, I thought their performances were really great.
That's surprising, considering how much you hate The Aviator. It's just like,
I did.
I've Leonard Bernstein. Call me Lenny.
There were moments when Carey Mulligan was talking, because she's not American. She's like...
No, well, she's like American who grew up in Chile.
No, her character is.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like,
okay.
so
Yes.
she has like...
I'm talking about Carey Mulligan, the actor.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. No, she's British, but she's
British.
She's British, but like in the movie, yeah, she's like
Right.
an American Chilean actress.
There are moments when they both sang together. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, not like obviously singing, but like performance-wise.
Yeah.
They really like click.
There's that one scene during the Thanksgiving parade.
Oh, yes, that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, it's... But yeah.
So that's a good performance.
That's great, yeah.
Miguel, any performances you saw this year that you were like, damn.
Yeah. No, it's from earlier this year. I know it's kind of a while back, but back in February, that bear did cocaine. I was like...
God damn it.
I was like, shit, this is...
That's committed method act.
Of the year? And so early? Yeah. I mean, that was a pretty good performance. I loved that movie.
That was Ray Liotta's like last performance, I think.
Yeah, no, and the bear upstaged him hard.
Him and Ray were just partying.
Yeah.
Was it like the bear?
All
like,
my life I wanted to be a gangster.
The bear was like, shut up. No, I honestly, I couldn't tell you my favorite performance of the year. I was really hoping that I wouldn't be the second one. I was hoping like a couple more opinions would come out, and I could be like, "Oh yeah, that was good."
Well, me and Ed were talking, so I thought I'd throw it to you.
No, I appreciate that.
Okay.
No, that's that producer in you.
Thank you, Ed. Any performances that stuck out?
That stand out. Yeah.
What came out this year?
Well,
what were some standout movies that came out this year?
Okay, let's talk Barbie, Oppenheimer.
People were talking about Ryan Gosling for a long time. Remember when Barbie came out? They were like, "Whoa, Ryan Gosling."
Yeah.
Oscar.
I think my biggest thing with Barbie is if it doesn't win Best Original Song for "I'm Just Ken,"
oh right,
then I don't care who does.
Really quick pivot to this. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll talk about song. Thoughts on Peaches not being in the Oscars?
Fuck it.
Well,
no, I thought that was a gimmick from the get-up.
But do you know what? Everyone on Reddit thinks the same thing. Everybody's like,
"Oh well,
thank God, it's not in the Oscars."
Wow.
Ed here too. Me, I feel like it should have been in there.
I tell you what,
my mischievous self was like, how funny would it be if that song actually
Look.
And you know what? Everybody remembered that song. That's a huge song.
When Jack Black goes, I hope the Mario sequel is a musical, you could go, I could see them doing that because that one song was so good.
Absolutely.
So,
if it's one of those things like if Super Mario Brothers gets nominated for Best Animated Feature over like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I'm going to be mad about it.
Oh, you would feel a type of way,
and it's the same way here. Like I just don't think
I'm going to be
great song.
Well, I'm going to be honest. The Mario movie's better
than
than
the musical.
Mario the movie's better than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles by far.
Wait, what'd you say? Wonka the musical?
Mario.
Oh, Mario.
But you don't believe that, actually.
Oh, I 100% do.
The movie?
Mario the movie.
It's better than
better
Ninja
than
Turtles?
Teenage-
We watched it so much more than Ninja Turtles this year in my house. It's just facts. It's just facts. My kid will
quantity
tell
over
you.
quality, baby.
My kid will tell you he likes the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
But we watched that Mario
I know you
movie.
did. I know you did.
And that wasn't me, baby.
That was a child.
Well, sure, no, of course, and I think that's what you gear towards. And maybe it's like that kind of vibe. Maybe Lily didn't enjoy Super Mario Brothers as much as.
So it's just a household. It's just, you know what I mean? Like house by house scenario.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. This year, I feel like Sarah, my wife, Sarah, her top 10 2023 is different than mine.
I want to. Yeah.
And I feel like ours is going to be different too once we do that top 10.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow, I feel like out of this year, it's been such a diverse year where people are really liking different things that other people are. And
It was a good year for movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I think so.
Yeah.
Can we, like, especially, specifically with animation, even with Super Mario Brothers, I thought that was, like, a gorgeous looking movie.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
And I
the
wanted them
textures.
to explore maybe different things. Like, I wanted the Mad Max of Super Mario.
I tell you what.
You know what I mean?
I get the sense that we're going to get a lot more of those movies.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
But like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we had Nimona on Netflix.
I still haven't seen that.
Oh, you should. It's great. It's a lot of fun.
Really? Okay, maybe I'll watch that before.
They just released Chicken Run, Dawn of the Nugget.
Right.
You know, Aardman back at it. And then
Did you like that Chicken Run, the second one?
We enjoyed it. It was fun.
Yeah, more
it
than the
was fun.
first, or the first
Not
is
as good
better?
as the first, I would have to say, but it is fun.
Okay.
It's like up there. The Boy and the Heron, which I haven't seen, but obviously that's a big animated event.
Louise kind of hyped me up on that last week.
I did watch it, Ed.
I know. Yeah, I want to hear your thoughts.
I mean, because we're going to have their podcast not next week, but the week after, so maybe you have time to catch The Boy and the Heron.
That is one I want to see.
But it is, yeah, I mean, what do you mean I hyped you up? I don't want to hype you up too much. It's one of those movies where I feel like you need to go and just empty-headed and just experience. Hype or no hype?
I just meant that you.
I don't want to gas you up.
No, hey, don't gas me up. No, I walked away from that conversation going like, okay, like I was kind of interested in seeing it, but then Luis said he liked. Oh, I don't actually remember if you liked or disliked it, but
Yeah, I did, yeah.
I was like, okay.
Are you familiar with all of?
Studio Ghibli?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I started recounting all the Studio Ghibli movies that I saw. I was like, oh, wow, I've seen a lot. Like, I've seen Spirited Away. I've seen The Howling Castle.
Yeah.
I've seen...
Have you seen My Neighbor Totoro?
That's actually the only one I haven't seen.
Okay, yeah,
But
that's
I've
the one that Lily's really
Okay.
Really? But I've seen the other ones, like Monaco, and then the other one... what
There's
is
a
that?
pig one.
The Castle in the Sky. I've seen that one.
Yeah, that
I saw Ponyo.
Ponyo. Well, we discovered apparently that's like a Disney produced one.
I don't know what it is.
Oh, if it's Disney.
Well, it's still Miyazaki, directed.
Right, yeah, but no, I got corrected on that. I was like, oh, Ponyo. I was like, no, that's...
Okay, well, I'm talking Miyazaki directed
Yeah, yeah,
movies,
yeah,
so
yeah.
maybe okay, whatever. But yeah, no, I was telling him maybe if my conversation about Boy and the Heron excited you, watch a Studio Ghibli movie.
Yeah.
Just like
one-
before it.
Well,
I
one
think.
thing I do want to know about The Boy and the Heron was, is it too intense for kids?
I think so.
Okay.
For Lily.
Because, like,
I'm thinking about
that's
Lily, like,
specifically
yeah.
a 5-year-old, yeah.
I think it might be too
because
intense for her.
My Neighbor Totoro is fun, and I mean it. You know, dabbles in.
I thought you were about to be like, oh, My Neighbor Totoro says I could watch a lot of these.
I really want to watch that. I haven't seen that. I feel like
It is fun.
Yeah.
I like it was and a gorgeous looking film. Like it's like one of those things where every frame is a postcard. Like
It's the
just
same.
gorgeous.
It's
like,
the same with this one too.
I'm sure. Yeah. So, but like the trailers kind of hinted at something that might be a little too intense.
It
for
is.
kids.
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay. So yeah, I'll hold off on that one. But
I think
My
it really
Neighbor
is geared
Totoro
towards
definitely
adults.
family friendly.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're talking about performances. We're talking about movies. We're talking about how great the movie year was this year. Let's see. Let me look at my notes. I know we had more things I wanted to talk about. 2023. Anybody remember?
We were talking about performances. We didn't really talk about performances.
Oh, Ed, yeah. What other performances? You talked about Rustin. You talked about Rustin.
I was talking about Rustin. Coleman Domingo was really good in that.
Yeah.
The movie just didn't serve him,
Right.
I feel like, or the character, or the person.
He's getting a lot of attention, Coleman Domingo.
He is, because he's in The Color Purple as well.
Oh. Well, a lot of people so he was in 2 movies. Who was in 2 movies? Rosamund Pike.
Yep.
And then the person in Anatomy of a Fall and Zone of Interest.
Yeah, Sandra Huller.
Sandra Huller was in both movies, foreign movies.
Yeah.
So we're having a lot of repeat offenders, Miguel.
Both who
No.
were like,
Same.
yeah.
Sorry.
Don't drift away. Pay attention to me, Miguel, okay?
I'm reading while you talk.
But yeah, no. Well, Sandra Huller. Now that we mentioned it, that like her performance in Anatomy of a Fall, we still haven't seen, or I haven't seen Zone of Interest yet.
Right.
You have?
I have seen it, yeah.
Son of a bitch. But yeah, she was incredible in Anatomy of a Fall, and that one requires like a whole lot of balance between not only, multilingual performances,
Yeah.
like French, English, German, but also just like that intensity and like realistically done. It never feels melodramatic
No.
in that movie. Everything feels just like genuine and vulnerable, and she's incredible in it.
It's as a court case drama. I was in jury duty for 2 months, and as they were doing the jury, they were reviewing the case, I was like, wow, it does feel very honest. But it was also very interesting because it's in France, so it's a French court. It's a different court system, and it felt more. I don't know. Here in America, when I was at what's it called? A juror for jury duty.
Yeah.
You couldn't lead a witness. You couldn't say narrative. You just had to ask questions.
Yeah.
Like that's all you had to do, and that's how it was presented. Here in Anatomy of a Fall, I felt like the lawyers were really like shaping a narrative. They were really putting emotions into it. Yeah. They were very political about how they were selling points.
But very cut and dry too.
Yeah.
Like they cut to the core, like, this is what I think you would do.
Right.
And
it's almost like a philosophical battle happening.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the judge has to kind of be almost the investigator.
Right.
And leave it up to themselves.
There were moments like in a court case, like you have a witness, they go up to the stand, and that's the one person you talk to.
Yeah.
Here, they'll have like Miguel will be talking at the stand about scientific stuff. Mm-hmm. So you talk
as you would. I'd be like atoms.
Yeah.
Nuclei.
And then you immediately go to the victim or to the murderer and be like, "What's your response to that?"
Yeah.
I've never seen cross-examination where they would go from like the witness stand to the person who they were like protecting. Forth. Yeah.
Because you have your statement. And then after that, it's left, if they want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is very interesting, but it's incredibly well done. But talking about performances specifically, yeah, she was great.
The dog in that movie was also really great.
And the kid.
Yeah.
Which I don't have in front of me, but he was great too.
I really liked Zac Efron's performance in Iron Claw.
I'm looking forward to that.
I would say, especially like near the second half.
Yeah.
I feel like he really earns it up to that second half of the movie.
Yeah. One that we've all seen, Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh man, we talking performances?
Yeah.
Hands down, Lily Gladstone. Man, it's just like
she's gonna win, but like low key. And I'm not trying to undercut Lily Gladstone, but like we can all agree that like this is like probably one of
it's a stacked year.
One of his best performances too.
I
don't know. Actually, I don't know if I'm sold completely on Leah.
No. I kind of agree with Ed. Like this is definitely one he could win for.
I don't think he's gonna win,
but it could is what I'm saying.
But I'm just saying it's like even if he doesn't get nominated, which I think is very
it was a really solid performance.
He should get nominated for it.
Yeah, he should. But it's just one of those performances that I think they really are pushing for Lily Gladstone, and rightfully so.
Yeah,
but he was low key, just like really good. And what really sells it is that final scene with
Yes.
him.
Okay,
and
that's the
Lily.
best part of it,
That's
yeah.
it. That's what like makes the whole thing.
I like
that if it wasn't for that last
exactly. It was brilliant.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I like that he's had like 5 or 6 movies in the last 10 years
Yeah.
that he could have won or did win for the Oscar,
100%,
but
yeah.
he still is turning out these performances that are still so engaging. You know what I mean?
And
like
unique because you can
exactly.
differentiate between the lot of them, from The Revenant to
Yeah.
Don't Look Up,
Yeah.
Oh, Don't Look Up was good. Yeah.
Wolf of Wall Street, and to this.
Yeah.
Like it's such a vast range that I don't know. Maybe 20 years ago, you just thought Leo DiCaprio can't do that much, but like he makes it.
Oh,
so
I don't know if anyone.
endearing and so intense.
Yeah.
It's and especially in Killers of the Flower Moon, like we said, that last scene,
last
it's like a
scene.
stroke of genius almost, like how he portrays that moment.
If he didn't have that last scene, I would say I would want the guy who played the FBI director. Jesse Plemons?
Yeah.
Clemens, yeah.
I think Jesse Plemons actually would have been a great role as that character,
Ernest
too,
Bernhardt.
as Ernest Bernhardt,
Yeah.
because he's
Oh.
supposed to be like a
Man.
guy, a guy who doesn't like know
Oh,
what's
man.
good, and he's kind of dumb or whatever. I feel like Jesse Plemons delivers that like blank face that he did with
Jesse Plemons,
that the dog. What's that movie? And that
The Power of the Dog.
Power of the Dog.
Yeah, Power of the Dog.
The Power Dog. He's kind of has this like empty-headed blank
Man.
slate. He could have done the same with Killers of the Flower Moon, and it would have sold it.
One of the things that we talked about, I feel like, is that Leonardo DiCaprio was kind of like sort of miscast because he's like playing this younger character, but he's obviously a little older.
Yeah.
And like Jesse Plemons' character, he calls him like son at some point. That feels weird. But if it was Jesse Plemons versus Robert De Niro, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The same character, Robert De Niro, but Jesse Plemons.
Right.
Well, Leo was supposed to be Jesse Plemons' character initially, like when they were based
Man,
solely on.
could you imagine if Leonardo DiCaprio showed up for
the
like
FBI.
5 minutes in a
Yeah.
movie?
The only reason I bet he didn't was because he was producing, like he was creatively involved with Scorsese.
He was very.
and he was like, "Listen, I want
And
to
the
play that role."
perspective from the book is kind of like that white savior.
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah, and he did a great job. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like a little
I think Clemens would
age-wise.
That would have been more. Well, I don't know any more interesting, but the performances would have been incredibly different.
Yeah.
And yeah, it would have been awesome to see them play off of.
I think
it.
Leo does this fantastic job of doing something very intensely and strongly.
Yeah.
And he does in the movie. And then Plemons gives this like very difficult to do absent-mindedness of like just being kind of clueless to what's happening, which I think to that character I would have sold a lot of things. Leo's great, both great. I just think it's like a fun like mind game.
You guys, I know we're talking about like performances, acting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we talk about some movies that underperformed at the box office this year? Can I pivot for a moment?
Yeah.
That's for us. You know what I mean?
That's good.
I was looking at my list of movies that I saw, and Ed, thank you for compiling this list for me. Okay.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Listen, I saw we were like, oh, let's talk about our 10 movies of the year, and I saw like 12 movies. Indiana Jones is a movie that I want to talk about that kind of underperformed.
Yes.
It was one of those movies of the year that we talked about earlier that was just kind of like people didn't quite flock to it, but it was better than I expected it to be.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I always had it lower in my tier of like movies that would perform well.
Yeah.
But it did do well. And in fact, it did do better than like Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Well, Mission Impossible actually did better internationally, didn't it?
Than Indiana Jones.
Than Indiana Jones.
But kind of a movie that you expected to do big this year and kind of underperformed.
Yeah,
You know what I
but
mean?
Undercut. I mean, not in, Indiana Jones. This wasn't the problem, but Mission Impossible, especially, followed the week before Oppenheimer and Barbie opened.
Yeah.
It just was like no chance.
Mistimed.
After that, yeah, like because the drop from its opening to that following week was devastating. It made like a lot of money overseas, but it probably only saw like maybe 100 mil profit after marketing, possibly, if that, you know. It lost so much money from IMAX that it was probably banking on. It had been in production since before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Constantly get pushed back, you know.
Did you hear that they're
And there's a sequel coming.
then they're changing the sequel to not be labeled as part 2?
Oh.
Yeah, they're gonna like rebrand it so that
fuck.
it doesn't confuse people. And it's like, well, you're at this point
You've
now.
already done part 1.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it does. I mean, it wraps
is a
up kind of like the character story in it, but there's obviously, without a doubt, there's like a cliffhanger
Right.
to the story. The bigger.
So whatever
theme
it
of
is,
it.
like that's actually a movie I haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
But like that.
Oh, you didn't watch
I haven't
Direct?
seen it yet. No.
Oh man, that's one that I need to see again because I did see it in theaters. I saw it at that shitty AMC downtown.
Yeah.
And-
Hey.
But I had like a guy vaping in front of me and shit.
At the AMC?
At the AMC downtown. But it was, yeah, I want to see it again. It wasn't at the level of Fallout. The precision, I mean, like the story was long, but the action sequences, of course, were great. But I need to see it again
Right.
because a whole lot of it didn't really. I had more movies make an impression on me than it did.
Well, Oppenheimer made a huge impression this year too. I mean,
Not
for
on
it,
you.
no, well, I saw it again.
Talking about underperformance.
I didn't actually explain this to you. I didn't tell you this, guys.
Don't act.
Hold on. I saw it for the second time on my flight over here, and I thought this would be our top 10, so I would have more to say about Oppenheimer. But let's just say that my view of Oppenheimer has changed.
Oh.
And I would say tune into our top 10 when that comes out in a couple weeks.
Wow.
See if it makes it or not. I don't know. But it did impact me. I would say out of all the rewatches that I did this year, from Asteroid City to Iron Claw to this one, Oppenheimer, or even Colors of the Flower Moon, I think this one has been the most impactful as far as like a
Wow.
second viewing.
Wow.
Yeah. So tune in to see
Good.
where it lands. But Oppenheimer was a 3-hour movie, biopic.
Oh, another popular topic this year.
That, what's it called? Not only was it super long, it was a biopic.
Not by Christopher Nolan standards. He would.
Okay.
He was like
But I'm just telling you, like
a brisk walk.
and it did really well. Like it was like overperformed. It was a huge movie. It got like near $1 billion.
Yeah.
And it's like, who would have thunk that a 3-hour adult biopic movie would have done so well? You know, it's like it's not like a Marvel movie that did it. It's a historical movie, which you love, Ed.
Yeah, and I read the book leading up to it, which was quite the challenge in itself. I just and it held up. It was just like I was like, is this movie doomed if I read this book?
No.
But no, I thought it captured. It told the story it wanted to, which revolved around the Trinity test, and I think that was probably the best way to go, especially for Christopher Nolan. Yeah. And yeah, no, it definitely did make an impression. But let's talk about that whole build-up. Like, when we went into this year, we had our most anticipated movies of the year.
Yeah.
If you guys remember, I mean, my most anticipated was Barbie. Luis, I want to say yours was The Flash, maybe?
I mean,
I might be wrong. I'm not trying to put that on you, but like, we all had our most anticipated, but then
Right.
from there we also went into our predictions into the box office. And Miguel,
Yeah.
you had Barbie as number one, whereas I sold it short, like way short.
That's what surprised me is because I felt like Barbie was like a big movie for you this year.
It was
like
yeah.
coming into the year, and I mean, I just thought I'm going to put Barbie number one because that's where I feel like it goes, and you put it so low.
I put it before Oppenheimer, but like because I thought like if there was any blowback on this film, like all of a sudden it just really turned out to be shit. It would have flopped so hard. But the fact that it was just miraculously so good, just better than anybody could have anticipated. And on top of that, the social media marketing of that movie
Yeah.
is what it was something that I just couldn't have comprehended so early.
And it's something that organically happened. Like it wasn't the
Yeah.
studio. I think the studio's built off of that organic.
Oh yeah, for sure.
viralness of like, dude, they were
But it
doing
became
memes.
its own thing.
It's like Gentle Minions became something, you know, and then the studios built off
And I don't
that,
think
like,
Oppenheimer would have been as successful
Right.
as
Absolutely.
it was without Barbie.
Absolutely.
they were a pair.
Absolutely, and that was I mean, in a certain sense, just that kind of event was fun to witness.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't had something like that in a while.
No.
Like, in a good while.
It drove
The
people
theaters.
to theaters. I mean, HBO just got Barbie like a couple weeks ago, and they're like,
and it's on every
Max is
tile.
like, you
It's
guys.
just like on the at least on the if you're on the website via a computer, if you're moving the mouse around, the cursor would be followed by sprinkles.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, and
That's a good yeah.
I've watched it twice since it hit Max
Oh, nice. Yeah. I've watched it once. I haven't watched it. But
because I was accused of being an idiot for not watching it that one time.
oh, I see.
Are you stupid?
Are you stupid? Whatever.
Check out our Instagram for that voicemail Miguel left me that one time.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Barbie huge, Oppenheimer huge. Other performances, other big performances, low performances. Oh, Godzilla. We just saw Godzilla today.
Yeah.
I just want to say that was a movie that was supposed to only be released for like 2 weeks. And then it did so well that they released it for a lot longer.
Yeah.
Because
It's still going.
It's still
and
going,
there was,
yeah.
I was going to comment, there was like a considerably sized audience with us today. Like,
yeah,
it's a
when
small
we
screen, but there's a few people there.
But even earlier today, we looked at those tickets and there not a lot of people there. And then when we showed up at the movie, and it was like, oh, we're packed.
This movie came out a while ago.
Yeah.
And people are still trying to see it.
And it's a foreign language film
Yeah.
too. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of nice to see that kind of reception, but it's been kind of not like blown out of proportion, but it's just been constantly going for these last few weeks. And like you and I at least rushed to go see it because we thought it was just that limited engagement. And now they're talking about doing a black and white release too.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, they're doing it. It's officially happening in Japan, but it might.
They're really milking it now.
The fact that it's built traction over here, they might do that release too. So, yeah.
Marvel
Yeah.
and DC. I saw a Reddit post, and there was like, I don't know, a shit ton of superhero movies came out this year.
Yeah.
Like 6, like 3 per or 4 per, I think 4 per or something. It was overwhelming, and I feel like this was the year where everybody's just like
We felt it.
the fatigue.
We don't.
Yeah.
And also just like the quality, the fatigue. Everyone's spread thin. DC's in a new direction. Marvel's spread thin. It's just like it didn't hit well. The only ones that really rang were like Spider-Man and Guardians.
Yeah.
But even then, I think back on Guardians. I haven't had the urge to rewatch it.
Right.
I haven't thought back on like a lot of things that happened in that movie where I was just, again, just didn't urge me to go back to it.
It's a little bit sad.
For me, it was sad. And I was like, it kind of like, it was so emotional.
Yeah.
I wasn't like rushing to go back just simply because I'm trying to protect myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was like one of the better Marvel movies.
Sure.
And it actually it started, that was one of the things I talked about is I put it lower on my list for the box office this year, but it like ran.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It did. It's up there.
It had
Top
legs.
5, right?
Yeah.
As money. No, I mean, it was. I mean, can you guys... I mean, it's kind of crazy to think that the year started off with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania,
Yeah.
which was a movie that had potential, but then felt just kind of mediocre after
Rough.
it came out.
Yeah. What a start to the multiverse saga.
Yeah.
And we'll talk a little more about that later, I'm sure.
Next year they're gonna only have Deadpool, and then I think maybe that's it. But they're really like taking time to figure out a game plan. So
Readjust. Okay.
Readjust, yeah.
Yeah.
We definitely need a breather year.
Yeah. Deadpool's the only property coming out next year, right?
yeah,
We might no, I guess wait, when is Joker Folie due?
comes out, well, actually, I think that comes out this year. The Joker movie, Lady
24.
The 24 though.
Yeah. No, not in the next 2 days that movie's coming out.
No. In the year, like later in the year.
Oh, we're gonna start getting trailers for that shit soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll be curious. I'll be there. I'm excited.
But yeah, the Marvels, which I don't think any of us saw.
I saw it.
We all saw it.
Oh,
You saw half of it.
I fell asleep.
Yeah. I think that movie got a lot more. I think people were just exhausted by the time the Marvels came out, from Blue Beetle to The Flash to
Oh yeah,
Shazam.
You guys saw
I think
the Blue Beetle too, huh?
I never saw Blue Beetle.
I saw it.
I never saw Blue Beetle.
I saw Blue Beetle. I saw Flash. I saw Guardians.
Did you see Shazam?
No.
I saw Shazam.
Was it good?
It's okay. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
But I haven't seen Blue Beetle, and yeah. But people just don't, and the Marvels, obviously.
Yeah. It's a lot of superhero movies, plus all the TV shows. You know what I
Just
mean?
came out.
Oh, Aquaman.
Oh,
I won't see
Aquaman.
that.
Man.
I won't see Aquaman.
I'm going to go ahead and skip that one. I'll tell you what, Wonder Woman 2 was so bad that I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to do a DC sequel right now.
Ever again until they get their shit together.
Sure.
Like I'm optimistic about James Gunn's Superman,
Yeah.
but also like,
But not.
is it a James Gunn Superman? Like, what shtick are we gonna have to adjust to, kind of thing? Is it gonna be like James Gunn universe, like a Zack Snyder universe? Like, is it just chock full of quips? And I don't know.
I think James Gunn is going to deliver like a heartfelt Superman.
Yeah,
Like he always delivers vulnerability even with his wackiness.
yeah.
So I'm hoping he kind of does the same with Superman, where he's just like, maybe he won't be as wacky. He'll be that like
That'd be nice.
Christopher
Rein
Reeves,
it in a
hopeful, emotional,
Yeah,
impactful
what
stuff.
I'll wait
like-
for a trailer.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like the casting seems on point so far.
Yeah.
I'll wait to see how it goes. You got Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor.
You guys, let's talk Nicholas Hoult for a second.
Okay.
Okay, Nicholas Hoult, what a run of DC auditions he's been having. Okay, he auditioned for Batman. He almost got Matt Reeves' Batman.
Almost.
Crazy.
He auditioned for Superman, and I mean, he was in like the top 3 for Superman,
Yeah.
and ultimately ended up as Lex Luthor of the James Gunn universe.
Yeah.
How do we feel about that?
He could be like the Loki equivalent. Do you know what I mean? Where like
Yeah.
Loki keeps
Ooh.
appearing, like
That's a good comparison.
he could
That would be
Lex Luthor.
nice.
Potentially, I like. Yeah. It's nice to see them as kind of like similar ages, even though like Jesse Eisenberg and Henry Cavill were probably similar in age.
They didn't vibe.
They didn't vibe.
click.
Yeah. Whereas, as far as casting goes, I haven't seen much of the guy who's playing Superman, but like Nicholas Hoult could share
The opposite
dynamic.
of I see. He could be like the name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Part of it.
I'm going to be honest. I would have been fine if he was Batman and Matt Reeves is Batman.
I disagree.
I know I feel like of the 3 of us, like
that's tough.
I'm the only one.
Yeah.
But no, I could 100% see him doing that.
I could see him doing it. but
I'm fine with him as Lex Luthor, but
what's also been fun, especially in his recent career, is he's been taking on these kind of more interesting side roles. Like with The Menu, he's this
Oh right.
like, I don't know, condescending boyfriend who is craving just like acknowledgement from the head chef of this restaurant. Like Mad Max, he played that.
Tweaker.
Yeah, I can't remember what his name was now, but just like an odd little side character to that, and I think he plays that so well. I just recently rewatched The Favorite,
Oh right.
where he's the politician, and like all of the men in that movie are these like complete fops, and whilst women are the ones running the show.
Yeah.
And it's just fun to watch him kind of be more of a goofball, you know. So I think like Lex Luthor was a far better choice than him being, or at least more interesting choice than him being the hero, you know what I mean? Like, sure, he could be the brooding Batman or whatever, but I feel like that works more to Robert Pattinson's talents than Nicholas Hoult. And maybe that's just kind of typecasting Nicholas Hoult in a way, being that kind of odd character. But I think those are the best roles too in themselves. And that's why I'm more excited for him to have played Lex Luthor. I think I would have been more skeptical with
As
him
a
as
hero,
Batman. Yeah. Like, I buy Bruce Rob Pattinson any day. But I know what you mean. I mean, I guess.
In another world, I could have seen it happen.
Yeah.
I get why he was there.
Sure.
I need to see the trailer for this movie. I can't wait for them to start filming.
I love him in The Great.
And he's quirky in that, too,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. He's very quirky in The Great.
Oh, and he did that Renfield this year?
Yes.
Talking about, the year of 2023. That was like in March or something.
Oh, shit, that was this year.
Yeah.
Wow. That is true. That was one of the movies I was looking forward to, too. I remember now that we talk about it.
Yeah.
Scandals. You wanted to talk about Scandals.
Oh, man. Yeah, I did.
You're taking lead on this one.
Okay. So, first off, what a year for Scandals. Shout out to, I think I've mentioned this before, but like Luis put me on to the subreddit Pop Culture Chat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he asked it so confidently, like I was like, oh, I'm missing out on something, so I should follow this subreddit. And now I am way too into it.
Okay, good.
But they came out, this is by Rude Lifeguard, shout out. They posted, what was the biggest, craziest, most shocking celebrity scandal of 2023? And it's a slideshow here, and I'll pick a few. And I'll just kind of like see if you guys even paid attention to the scandals. Okay. Let's talk about The Weeknd. Abel Tesfaye?
What?
Fire? What's his name? The Weeknd.
The Weeknd.
He came out. HBO did the show The Idol this year.
Yeah.
And let's talk about this one. This was kind of like a light one we can get into.
Sure.
Did you guys, first off, did you watch The Idol?
I watched the first episode of it.
Okay. Ed, Luis, did you watch the show?
I just watched Sarah watched it, so I would watch some episodes that she was watching.
Okay.
But it was pieces, so no. I mean, I just saw pieces of the episodes.
I tell you what, the internet tore this show apart.
Because
every episode.
Cannes, I think, right?
Yeah.
Not well.
Not well, but that's where it debuted.
I don't need to know how
the controversy.
I don't need to know how it debuted at Cannes. I need to know how it debuted at Ed's. Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember a whole lot about that first episode, but it was...
It didn't make you want to keep watching?
No.
Yeah.
Obviously not. I just like... yeah, I mean...
It was fun following The Weeknd on Twitter while this show aired, because he was very vocal about it. Like, every time someone was like, this show sucks, he's like, I'm actually playing a character. And I was like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, he was a producer. He was very involved in like trying to make it like his
And then
show.
it's also like the co-writer or whatever of Euphoria, right?
Oh, yeah.
Co-producer.
Yeah.
Which
So-
he was already had problematic sets during Euphoria, and they just
And I
continued
get
on
that
this
vibe.
show.
I get that vibe from
Yeah.
The Idol too.
It's just like-
is it being provocative just for the sake of being provocative?
Right. Mistreating his cast, keeping them late, making them do things that they don't want to do for like, his
Exactly.
provocative stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was also the time when HBO created fake Twitter accounts so it can combat
bad
reviewers saying
reviews.
that The Idol was good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it wasn't just The Weeknd. It was like everyone was turned on for The Idol. Like whether you were against it or for it.
Yeah.
it was
People
a charged
were
up.
Yeah.
Can I talk about some relationships, relationship dramas?
Yeah.
That got people charged up this year. I'm going to talk about a budding relationship and the end of one. Okay.
Okay.
You guys, let's talk about. Did you pay attention to the Ariana Grande relationship news this year?
No.
No.
Am I the only one?
Yeah, I didn't know
Maybe.
she got an inner relationship.
Oh, she's been busy. Okay.
This year she's been busy?
Yeah. Okay. So
Wasn't
Ariana,
Pete Davidson.
if I say that was so long ago. Ed. Oh my God.
Topical.
No, that I appreciate you trying to jump on board. Okay.
Okay.
You're right. Her and Pete Davidson did date for a long
They were
time.
engaged, right? Like it was a big deal.
Yeah, and I'll tell you about another
And
engagement.
then, like, she was like, "I need you to guess."
She did what?
No, Ed, go ahead and share your opinion about the. I didn't realize you had a strong
You
thought.
guys gotta switch the conversation.
What?
I won't be able to keep a straight face. Yeah, like go back to it.
No, I didn't.
Ariana Grande.
I didn't realize that was going to set you off. Okay. Do you guys know who Ethan Slater is?
Wait, hold on. Who did Ariana Grande date? I'm still curious.
I'm getting to it. Do you know who Ethan Slater is?
No.
No. Okay. He on the Broadway musical SpongeBob. He played SpongeBob. Okay, so earlier this year, they were in the news because Ariana Grande started dating Ethan Slater. Ethan Slater is the lead of the SpongeBob musical on Broadway.
He's like SpongeBob.
They're doing Wicked together.
They are now.
Yeah.
And they've
had an affair.
And they've been
Okay,
wicked.
no,
That's
I
right.
do know this. I do know.
So Ariana Grande
She's a witch.
and Ethan Slater started dating while Ethan Slater was married to another person,
okay.
and he was I believe she was pregnant or had just had like a newborn child.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And he had an affair with Ariana Grande, and now he divorced his wife.
Whoa.
And him and Ariana Grande are now a couple.
Okay.
And it was kind of in a world where Ariana Grande has like dated or been engaged, like she goes with a person and then she leaves a person,
Right.
kind of deal, which is fine. No, I'm not throwing shade, but this man left his whole ass wife and newborn
Kids,
child
Newborn child.
to go with Ariana
Whilst
Grande.
they were, because
Yeah.
they were on set together.
And it's one of those things where Ariana Grande has kind of had this like run of like, I date hot guys and everything's like supercharged.
Yeah.
But then like SpongeBob.
And I guess he's playing Oz in this upcoming.
Not.
Are they still together?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been a
He's
big
like
deal.
a Jeremy Allen White looking motherfucker too. Right?
That's rude to Jeremy Allen White. I feel like
Okay.
that man is at least handsome. Ed, let's talk about
Rustic.
Let's talk about a relationship. I said a budding relationship and one that ended. Ed, this one is near and dear to your heart. Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas.
What the fuck? Like I ever.
Guys, the scandals of the year.
Yeah.
We're on Team Sophie, right? I assume, right?
Team Sophie all the way.
I don't know what team
I
I'm
could
on,
give
but
a fuck about the Jonas Brothers.
I don't know what team I'm on, but it was crazy. I don't know why we like thought of them as our dream couple for a while.
Well, we thought they could pull it through.
It was just more like,
Yeah.
at least to me, like
Very on
if it
brand.
had to be like the cuter of the Jonas Brothers. Sure, great.
Oh,
If we're gonna rank Jonas Brothers, real
Go
quick,
on,
he's
Ed.
definitely the prettiest. Right?
is he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No.
I don't know the Jonas Brothers.
Can you name all three of them, Ed?
Fuck no. John Jonas, Jack Jonas, and Jonas.
Wait, no, hold on. There's Nick Jonas, right?
Yeah.
And then there's Jonah Jonas.
Who's the Sophie Turner one?
Jonah Jonas?
Joe Jonas, right?
Is that his name? Jonah Jonas?
Joe
Jonas?
Jonas. Yeah.
Joe Jonas?
Joe.
J-O-E.
Joe.
It's not Jonah Jonas?
No, it's not Jonah
Why
Jonas.
would it be? That's just cruel. Jonathan Jonas?
And then the other one, I don't know who that is.
Jim Jonas?
No, me either. Jim. Slim Jim.
Slim Jim Jonas.
Oh, my God. You guys.
Man, yeah, I forgot that happened. That made me want to think of something else, though.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
Yeah, that was the most obnoxious news of the year. Like, I was over it
everywhere.
before it began.
Okay.
Timothy Chalamet and that one Kardashian.
Kylie.
Yeah, whatever. That was like the most disappointing thing of his career
Was it?
so far. Yeah.
Well, at least he bounced back. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
wait,
that.
what
Like,
happened after that?
well,
wait, are they done?
Well, I just assume.
I hope so.
Maybe I'm wrong. He's still around.
He's still around. Yeah, he is. He's Willy Wonka right now, but
A surprise hit of the year.
it was a surprise.
I loved
yeah.
it, Wonka.
I had a great time with Wonka. I didn't give my review last episode.
You did. Well, you
'cause I
talked
was
about it a
out.
little bit. You said you liked it.
But I wasn't here last episode. I talked about it with you guys.
You
But
talked about
yes,
it
I
with
did
Miguel.
like it. I
Remember? Can I? There's a whole list. Can I get to the big
Yeah,
one?
sorry,
The
get
big
to
one of
the
the
big
year.
one.
I thought we talked about the big one.
No, the big scandal of the year.
was it Jonathan Majors
It's Jonathan Majors.
yeah.
You guys.
talking about Marvel having to reassess strategy.
That was crazy.
And the world having to reassess.
Like we barely got to. It was like the year of Jonathan Majors, and then it became
Yeah. I saw
The last year.
in the thread, I feel like I read that
Yeah.
at the beginning of March, he was like on top of the world.
He had Quantum Mania, Creed 3 coming up,
Yeah.
Loki season 2.
A big Avengers contract.
Yeah.
And then by the end of March, like that's when the allegations came out.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh wow, how fast can you
Full.
fall from grace? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Man, what a year. I mean, the whiplash I felt
Yeah.
from his
honestly.
success.
Because like he was at least leading up to Quantum Mania. For me, like that was like one of the bigger elements I was looking forward to.
Yeah.
Like, stick with it, Luis.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about Majors. Crazy. No, yeah. He.
Did either of you watch Creed 3? Just out of curiosity?
I love Rocky. I've been rewatching the Rockies, and I watched Creed, but I haven't seen 2 or 3.
Nor I.
So I
yeah.
never made it to watching 3, but I think I'm going to soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're asking me to make it. You're yawning too.
No, you just cause.
We've had such a day.
We have so yeah. It's been
We had a
great.
long
We've-
You guys, what a year. I can't wait to talk about our top 10 for the year.
Yeah, me too. Mine's been shifting up and down. Ed's been shifting. You've watched 12 movies. So
Yeah.
10.
I have time to.
He's watched
to
more
watch
than
one
12
more.
movies. Everyone, I can't
Yeah.
count.
I guess that's. I mean, I don't know. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I just want to call it out one more time. We're all together right now.
Yeah.
Look at all three of
It's
us.
rare occurrence.
That's nice.
We're all in the same room.
And if you join us on YouTube, you'll see that we are joined by my dog Bullet.
Bullet's been perfectly placed on the screen.
Yeah, she's
great,
gnawing.
aesthetically
Bullet,
pleasing.
Stop
Jesus Christ.
it. Bullet. Stop it.
Aw.
Bullet's a great little dog, a corgi. If you're not watching,
You get to see a butt a couple of times.
yeah, good job, Bullet.
Throughout this video.
Next week, I think we're going to take a break. We're all traveling,
Back home.
so we're going to take a break too. Okay, hang out with your family, hang out with your friends. We'll be back after that, and then we'll do our top 10 of the year.
Yeah.
Movies.
Of 2023.
2023. I'm going to call them my favorites. My favorites of 2023. All right, guys. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, we did it.
All right.
We did it, and we did it together.
All right, everybody. Happy New Year's. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy holidays. We'll see you next year. Until then, remember, you are Knuff, cousin.
Bye.
Bye.